welcome to What's Up Ocala. I'm your host, Andrea Praber, and today we're going to be talking about a proposal that has been making waves in the mortgage industry. This is President Biden's plan to penalize borrowers with good credit scores who take out mortgages. Let's go ahead and break down what this proposal means and how it might affect you. So, what's the reasoning behind this whole proposal? What is it? What's going to happen? Basically, the Biden administration believes that borrowers with good credit scores have an advantage in the current mortgage market. Well, yeah, obviously. The problem is they're already facing high demand and low inventory in the housing market. So by penalizing them, the administration hopes to level the playing field for other borrowers who may not have the same access to credit. The press secretary, while speaking to some reporters, said the president's proposal is aimed at ensuring fairness and equity in the mortgage market. It's not about punishing people with good credit scores, but about creating more opportunities for those who have been left behind. Well, I can understand the thought and the feeling behind that, but how is this penalty actually going to work? Well, according to the proposal, borrowers with good credit scores, maybe over a certain threshold, let's say 720, if they take out mortgages, they would have to pay an additional fee on top of the regular interest rate and other closing costs. The exact amount of the penalty hasn't really been determined yet, but it could be up to 0.5% of the loan amount. So let's look at a hypothetical example to see how this penalty will affect borrowers. Say you're buying a $300,000 home and you're taking out a 30-year fixed rate mortgage with an interest rate of 3.5%, which is actually pretty low. But for this example, without the penalty, your monthly payment would be around $1,347. But if you had to pay an additional penalty of 0.5%, your monthly payment amount would go up to $1,413. That's an extra $66 a month, or over $23,000 over the life of the loan. So let's go ahead and address some of the questions and concerns that this proposal has raised. First of all, who would be affected by this penalty? Well, as we mentioned earlier, borrowers with credit scores above a certain threshold are going to be subject to it. The exact threshold, the details, the penalty, all of that's going to be calculated and applied. They're still working out the details on that. It's just basically what they're proposing. It's also worth noting that this penalty would only apply to mortgages that are sold to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, the two government-sponsored entities that purchase and securitize most of the mortgages in the United States. So if you're getting a mortgage from a lender that doesn't sell to Fannie or Freddie, you actually wouldn't be subject to this penalty. That's kind of interesting. I think a lot of mortgage lenders might be left behind on this one. Secondly, let's go ahead and look at how this penalty affects the mortgage market as a whole. So some experts argue that it could actually hurt the very borrowers it's intended to help by discouraging lenders from offering lower rates and better terms to high credit score borrowers. This could also lead to a situation where borrowers with good credit scores have fewer options and end up paying more overall. A lot of others say that it's unfair to penalize people for being financially responsible and having good credit, and that it sets a very dangerous precedent for the government to intervene in the free market. Again, this is only backed mortgages from Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, though. According to one industry expert, they quoted as saying, "I think this proposal is misguided and could have unintended consequences. It's important to promote access to credit for all borrowers, but penalizing some for being responsible and financially savvy is not the way to do it." So let's go ahead and summarize. The decision to end the adverse market refinance fee is actually a positive development for homeowners and for home buyers, especially those who have good credit and are considering a mortgage. It shows that the government is actually willing to support the housing market, which is great. They're trying to help people achieve their home ownership goals, which is also wonderful. That's what we all are hoping for. So if you're planning to take out a mortgage anytime soon, though, I would say to keep an eye on this proposal and how it evolves. It's still a little too early to tell if it's actually going to even become a law, and if it does, how it's actually going to affect different borrowers and lenders, what it's going to do to the entire thing. But one thing's for sure, the mortgage market is always changing, and it pays to be informed and prepared. All right, welcome back. Today we have Ingrid here that's joining us. Ingrid, why don't you tell everyone who you are, what you do, and how they can get in touch with you?
Yes, hi, my name is Ingrid Navarro. I'm a realtor here at GER.ExpectMore Realty, and you can reach me at 352-426-7735.
Awesome. And what is it that you enjoy doing the most? Are you working commercial? Are you doing property management? What is it that you do?
Right now, I'm just working on sales, residential, basically. No anything else.
Let's not get too crazy with it, huh? Just
That's
residential
true,
sales.
That's true.
But, you know, I've actually seen that you're basically a miracle worker. You can bring stuff where somebody is asking for the moon and back, and you can actually find it for them. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's one of my skills, I guess. I really spend a lot of time searching for things until I finally find it.
That's awesome. Okay, so what is it about real estate that brought you in here? What is it that you most enjoy about it?
There are many things that I like about real estate. I'm always very curious about real estate and how, you know, fluctuates, prices goes down, goes up, and I always did it by my, by my own interest. And I did it for many years. I have my own realtor doing, the deals for me until my husband said, you spend so much time, looking for deals. Why don't you do it for other people? And then actually was my husband the one who really motivates me to get my license and start, kind of providing services for other people.
Well, you were a businesswoman for many years before you got into real estate, though, right?
I have some experience, yes.
Yeah. She's very modest, but she actually helped with running her family's company. So it was many years. She's a savvy businesswoman. Now, of course, there is a little bit of an accent in there. So where are you originally from? Or is this an Ocala accent?
I don't think so. We are very mixed here in Ocala, but I'm original from Bogota, Colombia. And it took me many years to get the level of speaking comfortable with native people, I said, and being professional. That's something that everybody who comes from a different country and start, trying to get into a professional field is afraid of. Of course, we always make mistakes, you're gonna miss a D here or an S somewhere. But the point across is that no matter how your accent or those little mistakes you do when you speak or probably when you write, doesn't really limit who you really are.
No, absolutely not. And speaking as one that has gone over your contracts before, just to kind of double check and make sure, her contracts are flawless, okay? They're just absolutely, she's so detail oriented on them. She just goes over them and over them and over them just to make sure that they're perfect. It's crazy. So I think you've got a little bit of perfectionism going in there. So she's wanting perfection from herself, but I can absolutely guarantee, I can't imagine trying to do a 14-page contract as detailed as they are. I can't imagine doing that in another language. That is so intimidating. Just to get past that intimidation, to be able to read it, understand it, fill it out, and explain it, that's huge. That
well,
really is.
It is also important that you have some kind of background in the same, kind of doing contracts in your own native language and your own profession, so it's not totally unfamiliar, So
I've actually found, I know there are many real estate agents that I've come across that don't have to read it in a second language. They speak English as their first language, and sometimes I honestly believe they've never read the contract they ask people to sign. Yeah, so it's it's always wonderful to see somebody who is so incredibly conscientious for her customers. It really is. So kudos to you for that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So, well, if anybody out there would like to go ahead and do business with you in English or in Spanish, because either way, you're a fantastic realtor. How do they go ahead and get in touch with you again?
Well, you can call me or text me, whatever is easier. My number is 352-426-7735. And my email address is long, so I really think that the best way is texting me. And also, for those that are maybe outside United States, I also use WhatsApp. So
I've seen that. I have it.
yeah,
Like,
they also have like a WhatsApp for business.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very popular app. I think it's coming into the United States a little bit more so now. But anybody that I do business with internationally, they always are like, oh, do you have WhatsApp?
Yeah, that's the popular tool to communicate, and I think it's great.
Yeah, because you can do texting and everything on there, video calls, all sorts of stuff on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've worked with people in China, Russia, just all over the place, Israel, and they all
Brazil.
Oh yeah, Brazil, of course, Colombia, and they always ask about WhatsApp. So yeah, excellent tool to have, and I don't think there's even any cost to it.
No, it's totally free. You just need to be connected to internet, and voila.
Yeah,
You
good to
could be
go.
even in France or Europe or South America, wherever. You just have access to the internet, and you can chat with all your contacts that also have WhatsApp.
Yeah, no, everybody's gonna start thinking we're trying to promote. We get no money from them, okay? This is just purely informational. And we're gonna try and keep you guys informed no matter what's out there, whether it's apps, mortgages, whatever. We're gonna tell you what's going on, because that is what we do, is let everybody get informed about the real estate market and its different things with the industry. So, well, thank you so much for joining me today and getting to know, letting people get to know you. And if again anyone wants to get in touch with Ingrid, just go ahead and give her a call.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
All right, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and take a quick moment to check out the real estate sales stats for this week. Let's go ahead and jump right into those real estate stats. These are for Marion County only for the last 7 days. Currently, there are 2,382 homes available and ready to purchase sitting on the market right now. New listings this week, we only had 210. We had 39 price increases and only 204 price decreases, which is actually about 100 lower than we've had for months. Back on the market, 60, sold 279, pending 296, and canceled 57. It's quite a few. National average interest rate right now is 6.79% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Now, something key to keep in mind, a 15-year is only at 6.22%. Normally it runs about 0.5% to maybe even so much as a full percentage behind the 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And of course, I'm going to remind you yet again that we always recommend that you at least check into a 15-year mortgage. It could save you potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest and other charges. So definitely something to look into. If you have a lender telling you that you're going to have to buy down points or buy down the rate or something like that in order to get that lower interest rate for a 15-year mortgage, please get a second opinion. It's just like when you go to a doctor and there is a very serious matter at hand. When it involves something that could potentially alter your life or your life's course, you probably want to go ahead and get a second opinion. Same holds true for getting a mortgage. Since we're talking so much about mortgages this hour, I would like to go ahead and mention yet again that it is a great idea to get a second or maybe even a third lender to take a look at your approval and see if that's something that they can match. Maybe they could go ahead and give you a new pre-approval. Look at the numbers and see if it's something from their estimate of the closing costs and stuff. Just kind of try and see apples to apples and oranges to oranges. There's a few of the lenders that we actually work with where they will check to see if they can match other lenders, and if they can't, they'll tell you straight out they don't have the best deal, which is great. I really love working with honest people. So if you want to talk to some of those lenders, let me know and I will get you in touch with them. There's absolutely nothing wrong with getting a second or third opinion when it's something that's so incredibly important in your life. So definitely, if you're out there shopping for a house, also shop the mortgage. Shop for lenders. Check and see if who you have is who you should have. There are a lot of different lenders out there that can lend on a lot of different programs. You could do FHA, USDA, VA, regular conventional, and even in the conventional alone, there's a multitude of different types of loans that are available to people. So definitely something to check into. Just because you like working with one person doesn't necessarily mean that they have all of the tools as another lender. And that's what you're looking for, is how they can use those tools to best help you in your loan program. So something to look into for sure. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. Please check into it. I know one of the biggest things that people mention to me is that they are worried if they check with different lenders that it's going to adversely affect their credit, and then they're going to actually not be able to get the house or have to pay more for it. Normally, when you're shopping for one particular item, such as a big ticket item like a house or a car or something like that, it normally does not affect your credit exponentially to check with different lenders. In fact, it's expected that you're going to do that. So the problem comes when you're shopping for a multitude of different big ticket items. So if you go in and you're shopping for different lenders and they're pulling your credit, okay, they're looking at it, all right, obviously this is actually a really great buyer. They're checking their different options. They're a very savvy individual. But what if they see you checking a bunch of different lenders, also a bunch of different car dealerships and auto financing, and they also see you taking out credit cards? Well, now there's alarm bells going off for them. That's definitely going to affect your credit rating, because there's all these different types of credit that's coming out. So you want to be very, 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 very careful, especially when you're purchasing a home. I hope you excuse the verbiage, but I normally refer to it with my customers as a financial colonoscopy. That is about as accurate as I can get. When you are going in to get a loan on a home, it is incredibly detailed. They will be looking at your finances under a magnifying glass. They have to decide and prove, sometimes if they're doing a USDA or FHA or something like that, they're going to have to prove that this is a good loan, and they're going to need to provide a lot of paperwork, so they're going to be under scrutiny. So with that means that you are not going to want to do anything that's going to alter things considerably, like shopping for an auto loan or auto financing at the same time that you're looking at a home, because that's going to change your debt to income ratio significantly. So they don't want to see a bunch of, possible car loans coming out, even if you don't actually pull the trigger, even if you don't actually get another car or change cars or something like that. They still don't want to see that you're even shopping for it. You should be 100% focused on purchasing your home at that time. And it's only for a very short period of time. We're talking maybe 30 to 60 days and you're done. So during that 30 to 60 day buying period for your home, where you're looking at $250,000 or more, the average home right now is about $250,000. So if you're looking at that, that's where they want you to focus. And I think that's reasonable to focus on doing that, to really give your energy and your determination for that particular thing is really a great way to do things. If your focus is scattered on different credit cards, on different auto financing, on different cars and maybe boats or who knows what else, there's so many different toys that you're available to look at out there. It's just really they're not gonna take you seriously. They're gonna see some major red flags, and that's definitely not what you want them to see when they're looking through that financial microscope. So just keep that in mind. Please don't make one of the forbidden sins of going out and getting all of your furniture for your house on credit right before you close, because chances are you will have nowhere to put that beautiful furniture. 90 days, same as cash, is not actually the same as cash, as my favorite radio host, Dave Ramsey, often says. So if you are going out and shopping for a home, feel free to check with different lenders, but please, please, please do not go and look for different forms of credit, and do not do any kind of credit checks out there while you're going through that financial microscope, because they are going to be looking at every single thing that you're doing, and they really want to make sure you're focused on the home buying plan, that whole program. So, all right. Next up, we're going to be going and talking about what is going on in Ocala this weekend. So what is it that we have going on? Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. We have quite a bit, of course, every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the corner of 3rd and 3rd downtown. We have the downtown market. There's vendors, fresh produce, food trucks, live music, coffee and mimosas. It's pet friendly, it's kid friendly. There's arts and crafts, there's playground, and of course, they've got the splash pad. Now that it's starting to get warm outside, that's probably going to be a really, really attractive thing for the kids in your life. So go and have a seat in one of the chairs that are underneath those big, beautiful oak trees downtown, and let the kids have a blast and get soaked and wear themselves out at the splash pad downtown. So really fun way to spend a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. There's plenty of restaurants and food trucks and stuff that you could grab lunch while you're out. Not only that, over at the Marion Theater at 5 p.m., they're going to have classics and cocktails, and the movie of choice is Casablanca. So that should be really cool. They're going to have an exclusive cocktail while watching this classic movie. Hopefully you'll be able to join for that. We also have over at the World Equestrian Center something that is getting bigger and better every single year. We have the Festival of Speed, the Kentucky Derby. That's going to be from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Make sure and wear those big, fabulous hats, ladies. It is going to be all about the hats. You know it. That is also going to be on the 6th. So all day, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., go on and stop on out to the World Equestrian Center. I think you're going to have a great time out there today. Over at Island Grove, they have the Blueberry Festival. Blueberry Festival is coming to an end for this year, so hurry on out to Island Grove. It's going to be all day today from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's going to have all sorts of blueberry-themed fun, so stop on out there as soon as you can. Now, what about tomorrow? What is going on tomorrow? Well, if you go over to Ocala Warhorse, that's the Harley Davidson dealership, they're going to have Ocala Cars and Coffee. What a great idea. If you've stopped out there before, you know they have a fantastic lounge inside and some amazing coffee, and it's just a really, really, really cool place to hang out. But the Ocala Warhorse, which is the Harley Davidson dealership, they're going to have over 350 unique cars. So stop on out there. It's free, and there's a lot of great things to see out there if you do stop on out. We also have the Florida Safari Tram Tour. That's going from 10 a.m. to 11:30. That's over at Silver Spring State Park. So you might still have time, if you hurry, to get on down there and enjoy that. And if you can't make it for that, there's a lot of other wonderful things at Silver Spring State Park to check out. Of course, there's biking, hiking, and kayaking, but we also, of course, have those glass-bottom boats. And I didn't know this until recently, but did you know that those glass-bottom boats have been over at Silver Spring State Park for over 100 years now? It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Thankfully, it's not the same boats. They've definitely been refitted and reformatted over the years. I don't know that I'd want to be on a 100-year-old boat, but it's still the same concept. You get to look down and see all of the amazing aquatic life over there, and it's just so crystal clear. It is so incredibly clear, the water. You can see every blade of seagrass and grains of sand, 50, 60 feet below you. It's incredible. If you have the opportunity to even go walking around in the Silver Spring State Park, that is a great thing to do as well. Keep in mind, it's probably going to be warm today though, so keep that idea in mind. But yeah, the Florida Safari Tram Tour is going to be tomorrow, actually, from 10 a.m. to 11:30. So you actually have plenty of time to get out there. For some reason, I was thinking it was today, but no, that's actually going to be tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So you have plenty of time to check out the Florida Safari Tram Tour out there. And again, check out all of the other things that Silver Spring State Park has to offer. Next weekend on the 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. we're going to have the World Equestrian Center Spring Festival. And I know there's a 5K going on with that as well. They're going to have live music, yard games, and so much more. So if you really want to enjoy a spring fling type festival, that is a great thing to do next weekend. So today we have classics and cocktails in Casablanca over at Marion Theater. We have the Kentucky Derby going on at the World Equestrian Center, which is going to be up on the big screen, so wear your big hats, ladies. And then the Island Grove Blueberry Festival from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tomorrow, we're going to have the Ocala Warhorse, Harley-Davidson, Ocala Cars and Coffee from 8 a.m. to 11. And then we're going to have also the Florida Safari Tram Tour at Silver Spring State Park tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Really fantastic to go out there and check it out. And just a real quick shout out. There is a new restaurant over in Bellevue that just opened up from some local ladies. It's called RJ's. If you have an opportunity, I highly recommend that you stop on out and support some of our local people that are, striking out there and opening a small restaurant. We all know how hard that can be. So just a real quick shout out. If you have an opportunity, please stop out to RJ's restaurant in Bellevue. It's totally new and it's kind of a breakfast and early lunch thing, and hopefully you will enjoy their diner atmosphere. All right, that's it for us. Thank you so much for listening. We love being a part of your lives. Please feel free to submit a question. It might be chosen to be a question of the week. You can do that on classichitsocala.com and just click on the Ask Andrea tab. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye.
Move with the rhythm. Shake it up, stop when the clock hits 13. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.